completion of the journey, circling back to the beginning, integrating what was learned. Hello. So today is a little bit of a different video. It's all about a Q&A. So I have a ton of questions that y'all asked me on Instagram that I am excited to dive into. And the last question that I'll answer is the truth about my weight loss and how I lost the weight. And this is just like a heads up trigger warning for anybody who doesn't want to hear anything about that. I just want to like give you a heads up on that. Okay, so first question is, how long have you been doing yoga? I've been doing yoga since before I got married, and that was 18, so I'll be celebrating 18 years married September 10th this year, and I have been doing yoga for 2 years prior to that, so almost 20 years is how long I've been doing yoga. Why did I start? I started doing yoga because I was getting into shape for wedding and running, trying to lose weight for the wedding. And I just thought, oh, I need to do yoga, because at the time blogging was really, this was 20 years ago, blogging was really like it, like everybody. I had a blog at one point. I should probably link it down below and you could read it. Oh my God. Oh, it's so toxic. I'm not even linking it. If you really want to go find it, you probably couldn't. I don't even know if it still exists. Anyways, that's why I started, because like the bloggers told me, oh, you need cross training in addition to like running. So like I started running so that I could lose weight, and then I did that. Why am I fat? This was such a weird question. I'm fat because I like to eat. I'm fat because, you know, depression, not being consistent. There's so many reasons why people are fat. I can't like answer that even in a video. It's so weird. How did I start a self-love journey being a fat person? So I think a better question is why, because I started it because I was about to have a daughter, and once I found out that I was having a daughter, it felt like I couldn't be her main role model, the person she looked up to, and being the person who stepped on the scale all the time. And it felt like really not good for me to constantly be doing that. And so I was like, I need to like stop like being angry every time I like step on the scale, and then like it felt very toxic, and so I wanted to change for her. How did I get a good marriage? Lots of freaking work. My husband and I have been on this journey of focusing on our marriage for probably like, probably the last 8 years. So second half of the marriage, essentially. The first half, I don't know. We had some really good times, but I think we were both so young and we didn't really know what we wanted our marriage to look like, and I don't think we've talked about it enough. And the second half of our marriage has been much more mind-opening as far as like how we got here. So how did we get here? We went through like several years of couples therapy because we were in a hard place in our marriage, and we just had like many conversations, and we keep having them. That's the important thing, is like we keep having like our check-ins. As soon as we realize like we're bickering about stuff and we're not like working together, that's when we realize like we need to check in, we need to like get connected. It's not always about the partner is doing something wrong. oftentimes it's like you aren't working together like a unit, and in order to get there you need to communicate, and you need to be able to do that in a safe, comfortable way. So providing that for yourself in your marriage is really important. So like establishing that before you even begin a conversation, making sure you both aren't tired when you have a conversation, which is very hard. But like essentially you don't want to do it like right before you go to bed or right when you wake up in the morning. You want to kind of set aside time and go, hey, can we do a check-in? Like, and then before you even start, like say, okay, so for this check-in, I really need to open up about some things, and I really want this place to be safe enough so that I could do so. And getting to that place, it means like telling your partner every single thing that they need to know about whatever you're feeling. So if you're feeling not safe and you need to have that conversation, then you need to discuss that with your partner. Like, I don't feel safe. I don't. And you need to be 100% honest. And this can be very hard. And if you feel like you can't for whatever reason, that's a whole other conversation. Because then that's where you need like a lot of outside help. It's my plant care routine. I have no plant care routine. I water them maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. That one is dying. My ivy is dying. I don't even think you can see it. You only see my, I don't even know what this is, the rabbit foot prayer plant, drama plant, aka it's so heavy that it's like bringing down everything. But I'm not good at pothos. But this plant here is thriving. Like it loves my routine. So I'm thinking about just like throwing all of my plants away and just getting plants like that. I'm also like really into orchids. My husband buys them for me, and the ones that I have are really nice. Why tarot? I like the idea of connecting with something outside of myself, and I like the fact that you can connect with the cards. I like the idea of like a fortune teller kind of thing. Whether you believe it or not, doesn't really matter. I just think it's cool. I think it's like, it's something that you can connect with. And I think it's just an interesting way to like start my day. How long am I gonna do hot girl walks for? As long as I can. I mean, I started at the beginning of the school year, and I want to keep going on a regular basis. So as long as I possibly can. How did you get the diagnosis for your kids? Both of my kids are neurodivergent, and I'm pretty sure I am too. I think I have ADHD, really. I'm pretty sure. And my son has ADHD combined, so he has that diagnosis. He's on medication for it, and it helps, and highly recommend going through that process. It took about a year, and since he was much older when we got diagnosed, it was more of a process because they involve the teacher, they involve other people, and then you have to like, so the first step is like filling out all these surveys, and then you meet with a psychiatrist, and then you do like a group thing where they all like write stuff down, and like you each person talks, and then you have an individual session, and then you get your diagnosis essentially, and then you get referred to whoever for therapy and medication or whatever. So that was my son. My daughter's autism diagnosis was actually easier. She got diagnosed sooner than he did, maybe 3 months, and it seemed like a long time at the time because we were going through so much frustration. But even looking back, I don't know if it was the right diagnosis. I think she has maybe some autism traits, but as she's gotten a little bit older, and I'm talking like she was diagnosed in February and it's now September, so 7 months, she has grown out of some of the traits that she had previously. So whether or not that is like a normal thing, I don't know, but she got diagnosed from our medical insurance first, and then we tried the school so that we could get services through the school, and they said that she did not qualify and that I needed to get a second opinion because they felt like her autism traits were really masked by her language disorder. She's in speech therapy. She's been in speech therapy for like 3 years, and she's 4, just to give you an idea. She didn't speak until she was 2, like, so then we went through our regional center and they said no, and I feel like since that one was in person, it was more valid, and they just diagnosed her with language processing disorder, which they couldn't provide services for, which was fine. We were getting services from school and from our medical insurance, and so it's not like I'm expecting the regional center to really provide us anything. They need to go to like families that like need the services. So that whole process was an additional, the regional center took almost a year to get that diagnosis. Like I probably reached out in August, and then they finally made the appointment in July of the next year. And I think lots of reasons why. And then with the school, it was very quick. Like I went in like right after she got diagnosed with autism and was like, hey, she has a language processing disorder plus autism. I think she needs to be here. And they were like, no. She doesn't have this. So now she's in a language enrichment preschool and she's doing great, thriving. But I think that's the thing, is that you just ask a lot of questions and you reach out to whoever needs to help you. Where do I get my props? I get my props from mostly Amazon. And so I have an Amazon store, you can check it out, and it has like all of my prop recommendations, and I recommend bolster, blocks, yoga rings, like those 3 things. Strap is also good, but I think a yoga ring is like way more, so good. A lot of questions about my courses, and then a lot of questions about my courses. So what are they really like? So when you go into my courses, you'll see like videos. And once you get in there, the video will have like an explanation. There might be an attachment. A lot of them, they have their the attachments in like the first, like, hey, this is what the course is all about. And then all the videos that go with it. And like the welcome video will like explain like what to do in the course. It might say something like, hey, start on week 1 and just watch the videos and do them, you know, 1 video per day, or you could watch them all at the same time. Like, it doesn't really matter, but like I do give a little bit of structure at the beginning. And each of the videos are pretty short. Like my Yoga for Complete Fat Beginners, I wanted to make the videos shorter because I wanted to give you the power of completion, which I think is really powerful. And making the videos longer just doesn't feel like a beginner mindset. And so most of the videos are like 18 to 25 minutes, which I feel like is a good amount of time to learn something and then feel like you did it. Which course is for you? So I would say if you are a complete beginner or starting over again and you just need a refresh, Yoga for Complete Fat Beginners, it's the course to start with. It's 4 weeks. Each week you get 3 to 4 videos, and all the videos are like 18 to 25 minutes. And as you go through them, you learn about the breath, postures, yoga props, that kind of stuff. But then you also learn things like yoga philosophy, studio etiquette, how to pick the right studio. So there's a lot more depth to that course for beginners so that they can pick the right studio, they can learn how to do the poses in the body that they have, and then they can start their yoga journey. And it's 4 weeks long, so it's pretty like, it's just enough to where if you complete the course, you'll be wanting a little bit more. Okay, so I also have a 75 self-love challenge, and that course is completely designed for you to start on a self-love journey, a healing journey. The first third of the course is all about setting a habit. We read a book. We are encouraged to do a yoga practice, which you're provided with every single day. So 75 practices. It was a very labor intensive course. It's like one of my favorite courses to recommend. Every single day you get a yoga practice, a meditation practice, and then reminders to step outside, take 5 deep breaths, read something, and I give you a book list to read so that you're reading the same thing as everyone else. And then journaling, and you get an interactive journal, and that's on like day 1 or like one of the first days. So the whole course is designed for you to be successful in starting those habits in the beginning. And then the next part is figuring out why you don't like yourself. So what is the root? Why don't you like yourself? Why don't you love yourself? Figuring out what your trauma is. You get the yoga workshop, that is the trauma release workshop, and you do that. It's a little bit more towards the second third of the course. And then the last third of the course is you learn about how to love yourself. And I think this is the most powerful part, because people are like, I love myself. But like, you really do need to learn how to love yourself, because I don't think a lot of people know how to do that, and I teach you in that one. So that's what that course is about. And then the Finding Your Worthiness, it's a combination of my group coaching, which I don't offer right now, and 75 self-love. So you get both aspects, and it's mostly focused on the self-love journey, finding your worthiness, finding that you are worthy enough to do whatever it is that you're wanting to do. So if you're struggling with that, that's what that course is all about. And then I have a bunch of workshops, and one that I completely am like, if you're gonna start anywhere, Yoga for Trauma Release. I've gotten so much amazing feedback on it. So that one is available. You can just buy it individually. But if you want to get all of my other workshops, they are included in my bundle and save, including my yoga for chakra alignment. And that gives you 7 yoga classes that are for each of the chakras. And I go over each one. It's a restorative practice. It's a really, really good yoga course. And if you've been thinking about doing anything with chakras, that bundle and save includes it. And so you can bundle all of my courses. You get Yoga for Complete Fat Beginners, Finding Your Worthiness, 75 Self-Love, and then all my workshops, which includes Yoga for Chakra Alignment, Yoga for Trauma Release, Bed Yoga Workshop, Yoga for Better Sex. And so I think it's even a beginner yoga one. There's like 4 or 5 different workshops that are included, plus all the journals, all the affirmations, all the everything that is included. So you get everything. And right now I think it's on sale for $85. So highly recommend scooping that one up, because then you get everything. And then if you're like, well, what's the difference between the membership and that? The membership is something that I add to every single month, and you get new practices every single month. So that's a big difference. And the courses are like set, like they're pre-recorded, they're ready to go. You don't have to like wait. There's nothing new that's going to be added, and you only pay once. Whereas the membership, it's a monthly ongoing thing, or it's every 6 months, or whichever one you signed up for. And right now you can get 6 months for $27. So the membership includes 4 new yoga practices every single month, a tarot card reading, affirmations, journal prompts, relationship check-ins with my husband and I. In September, we're doing Sexy September, and so it's like intimacy building, daily intimacy building, and so that's been really great. So much great feedback on that one. And you just get like, so the membership is just like really great when it comes to giving you something new every single month. So a lot of people love it. How I lost weight. So a lot of people are like, how did you lose weight? You've lost weight. You look different. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Like, why what happened? Are you okay? I didn't really feel like I needed to address this, but then somebody messaged me and was like, I'm so concerned for you. Please tell me you're not doing drugs. The assumptions that people have when it comes to weight loss are just like, they're so triggering. And if you watched the first one of The Truth About How I Lost Weight, you'll know why I lost the weight. I struggle with a health condition, and it's called endometriosis, and it's a stage 4 issue, and I literally spent a year like bleeding, and I've had surgeries, and if you've seen any of like I have belly scars because I've had multiple stomach surgeries around it, and I have struggled with it for a long time. So here's what I did that was different. First of all, I started moving my body in ways that was healing, which means daily physical movement in a way that felt good in my body. I wasn't doing as much daily physical movement like 2 years ago, so probably like right after. Like I think I gained a lot of weight during the pandemic, and like that's the other thing is like nobody mentioned the weight gain. I was probably this weight pre-pandemic. That's the other thing. I was this weight pre-pandemic, so it's almost like I lost because I'm fitting into clothes that I fit into pre-pandemic. So this is like actually like my set point. I like gained a lot of weight over the pandemic. I'm not even going to show pictures because I don't want to be triggered. I don't want to trigger you. But I know like where I was at. And so pre-pandemic, I was about this weight, maybe 20 pounds heavier. And then pandemic, Tiffany gained a lot of weight because she was depressed and she couldn't go and do the things she wanted to do. And then everything happened with her health condition. And so I had to get really real about my body and what was going on. I'm going to be 40 like in a year, in 2 months. And bodies, they deteriorate. That is the life. That is the evolution, the circle of life. We are not invincible. And we have to understand that our bodies will slowly deteriorate if we let them. And I think that's what was happening for my body, is it was just slowly deteriorating, not because I was fat. I think I was just kind of letting a lot of things happen, and I was going back to cycles that were very unhealthy, not sleeping, I was overeating, and I'll just say like I wasn't paying attention. And I did that for a long time. And I got a lot of praise almost from that. It was very bizarre. Like, oh, you're this, you're this person that I feel like comfortable with, and I felt like really good in my body. I didn't feel bad about being fat, like, or in that post-pandemic weight. I didn't feel bad about it. Like, I don't think there's ever been a weight from the time like pandemic has hit where I've been like, oh, I hate myself, that letting myself get to this. In fact, I didn't really even notice that I was losing weight because I don't weigh myself. And this past like maybe 6 months has been like really like, oh, this is a big difference. And I think it's just because I got like really focused on healing. So I don't want to say things that are gonna like trigger you, but I'm not in any sort of calorie deficit. I'm not like focused on calories or anything. I'm more focused on the type of foods that I'm eating, what could cause inflammation, and eating for and moving in a way that serves my body for my hormones, if that makes sense. So cyclical living, I am not good at saying words sometimes. Cyclical living. So taking the moon and my cycle and everything involved, understanding that I need a cycle, otherwise I'm just gonna bleed all the time. So that's where I'm at, or was at. when I was my heaviest, and I needed to change that. And I did that by understanding that I needed more protein and I needed more like things that felt good in my body that weren't going to cause inflammation. So no red meat, no alcohol. I didn't cut out caffeine, although that is a trigger. I still drink 2 cups, might be more than that, a day, because I drink like big Starbucks drinks. But you know, you have to figure out like if you're going to do one and then not the other. And I just found that like the red meat thing was a big trigger for me. There's certain ways that food is prepared, like fried, very triggering. And here's the thing, like I would be in constant pain. I was in constant pain. Like, you don't understand. Endometriosis literally means your body is inflamed 24/7. It is a chronic illness. It's completely unidentifiable unless you have surgery. I wish more people would talk about it, because more people would probably be diagnosed with it, because it's like you just think, oh, I'm human, I'm female, therefore I have endometriosis, or I have to deal with this kind of thing. Which I mean, it literally, when you have an attack, I would sit on the toilet for like hours trying to like let it pass. Like, feels like you need to go number 2. It feels like everything is against you, like stabbing. And this would be like all the time. And it's from your diet, it's from like not moving your body. And so like figuring that out is a big part of why I lost the weight. Plus I think this is more of a set point for me. And I have spoken to my doctor recently about my weight loss. And I do know how much weight that I've lost. I'm not going to share it here, but just know that I lost it over the course of almost 2 years. So just understand that too. It's like, it's been 1 year and 3 months since I've really like focused. So June of last year, so 1 year of 3 months. So 15 months, and I've lost a little bit each month. And it's just been more noticeable in the last like 6 months, because it just kind of shed off. So things I've been doing: paying attention to my cycle, resting when I need to, moving my body more, eating more protein, eating things that aren't going to cause inflammation, doing my own research. I am not a doctor, I am not a dietitian, and I don't want to give any advice or meal plans or anything like that. I'm just giving you like what I did, and honestly, I go by it like 90% of the time, 85% of the time, in a way that feels good to me. It's not like I completely deprive myself. If my family goes out and I want to have an extra coffee, or I want to drink a soda or something like that, then I will. Like, I do the things that feel good for me at the time. If I feel like I'm cramping and I feel gross and I'm not feeling good and I don't want to do anything, then I know, it's time for me to check in with myself and do something different. Get back to like a focus. So I think it's just a very intuitive living way of doing things, if that makes sense. So that's it. That's the end all be all. Essentially, you could say like, oh, well, Tiffany is just eating more protein and moving her body more. Yeah. And I did it for like 15 months. I'm still doing it, and I found a way that I'm like doing this for like the long term, because my body will not function properly, like horrendous amounts of pain, bleeding for months and months and months. Like, I have to do things for my body, and it's hard to even discuss, because I was on this love, like, fat is beautiful thing, and people are now saying like they feel abandoned by me because I lost weight. Friend, I am not a size. Like, that's not the only thing about me. So it's just frustrating to kind of go through this whole process and then find out people are just like disappointed that I lost weight. I guess I can't please everybody, and that's okay. I just want to tell you, like, wherever you're at in your journey, like, you are worthy, you are awesome. I still feel exactly the same way about self-love, and that's another reason why I don't want to be body positive. I'm not body positive. I am body neutral, and I'm more self-love than anything else. Like, I don't even talk about body positivity. That is like for people who can't fit in places. That is for like making clothing brands have more inclusive sizing, you know, chairs on airplanes be bigger, having more rights in the workplace. Like, body positive is not I love my body. That's self-love. Two totally different things. I hope that this gives you enough insight into what's going on with me, and you can take this and feel good about it. And I'll probably just like have this up forever and ever, because I just feel like I'm constantly getting asked, oh, did you lose weight? I'll just like refer people right to this YouTube. I hope you have a beautiful day. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.